Part 1. The Tricky Lion and the Clever Fox. Once, there was an old lion who couldn't catch any animals to eat because he was too weak. He thought, I need a plan, or I'll starve. So, he pretended to be sick in his cave. His sneaky idea was to eat any animal that came to check on him. Many animals who cared about him came, but they ended up as his dinner. Then, a clever fox came by to see how the lion was doing. The fox stopped outside the cave and looked around. He sensed something fishy. "How are you, sir?" asked the fox from outside. "I'm really sick." "Come inside," replied the lion. But the smart fox had noticed something strange. "I'd love to, sir, but I can't ignore this. I see footprints going in, but none coming out." "It would be silly to go in," the fox cleverly said. Understanding the lion's trick, the fox made an excuse to leave and quickly warned the other animals about the lion's trap. Thanks to the fox's quick thinking, the other animals stayed safe from the lion's tricky plan. Part 2. The Value of Time. Anthony was a really lazy boy who always delayed doing things. His dad once sat him down and explained how important it is to do things on time. Anthony promised to stop postponing tasks. One day, he found out he had won the top prize in a singing competition from the month before. They asked him to collect the prize on the same day. But Anthony didn't care and decided to pick it up the next day instead. Sadly, the prize turned out to be useless. It was a ticket to a circus show that had already happened the day before. Anthony realized his mistake. He learned that delaying things could make opportunities slip away, just like the prize he missed. Part 3. The Impatient Fisherman. Once, there was a big pool near a village where everyone used the water for drinking and other things. The pool was full of fish. One day, a fisherman went there to catch fish. He threw his net into the pool and waited. But he was not patient enough. Instead of waiting, he tied a long string to a small stone. He put it into the pool and started stirring the water. He hoped it would scare the fish and make them swim into his net. A villager saw what he was doing and asked him not to make the water dirty. But the fisherman ignored the advice. He continued to beat the water, making it all muddy. The villagers were upset. They brought some friends carrying weapons. When the fisherman saw them, he got scared. He quickly pulled out his stone and said sorry for what he had done. Part 4. Learning not to blindly imitate. Once, a wise saint was traveling with his followers. On their way, they came across a pond full of fishes. Surprisingly, the saint started to scoop up the fishes into his mouth. His disciples, seeing their guru do this, also followed his actions without question. After some time, they reached another pond, but this one had no fishes. The saint stood there and began removing the fishes he had swallowed earlier. Witnessing this, the disciples were astonished and tried to vomit out the fishes they had swallowed. Unfortunately, despite their efforts, they could only manage to bring out a few dead fishes. Seeing their struggle, the saint wisely remarked, "Fools, if you didn't know how to keep the fishes alive in your stomachs, why did you imitate me?" The lesson from this story is clear: blindly copying others without understanding or knowing the consequences can lead to foolish outcomes. Part 5. The Power of Faith Over Doubt. Once, there was a teacher with a disciple living in a hermitage. One day, the disciple set out on a journey but got caught in heavy rain soon after leaving. He hurried back and shared his problem with his teacher. The teacher advised, "Have faith in God. He'll help you through all difficulties." Trusting his teacher's words, the disciple resumed his journey. As he faced various obstacles, he kept chanting the name of God and managed to overcome them all. The next day, the teacher had to take the same route. When he encountered a deep drain, doubts crept into his mind about whether God would save him or not. Sadly, the teacher got drowned. This story teaches us that when you doubt, it can lead to unfortunate consequences, while having faith can guide you through challenging times.